What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol MVST for Microvast Holdings. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. Now, someone did bring to my attention that this is a SPAC, reverse merger, or something like that. It technically is not an IPO, but nonetheless, it doesn't change our price action or how we interpret it. So it is what it is. Going forward, we have to note that certainly there is a gap that remains underneath us from this daily perspective, right? That gap is here, so under $11, fills down towards 10.58, call it 10.60, since there is a little bit of upper wick left there, and that gap should be monitored closely should there be any sort of rollover here, any sort of pullback. But based on what's going on this chart, the gap and sort of hold here is rather promising, especially with the nice ramp into the end of day here, especially or coinciding rather with a nice increase in volume. That to me seems like it wants to move higher going into the future. Taking our attention over to the 30-minute time frame now, what are some critical areas should there be any sort of pullback or an area to hold? I would argue, if we grab our other tool here, this is the area you need to watch right now. It's at $13.34, and the reason we picked this level is because we have a high, and then as we pulled back into the end of the day, it held to the T as support. So 13.34 should be on your radar as a potential area should there be a first initial pullback to start monitoring for, as we always say, any sort of hammer candlesticks, any sort of indecision dojis, anything that would signify, hey, maybe this pullback is ending and it's time to flip long again. So keep a close eye on 13.34. The last thing I'll sort of make your attention to is this support trend line. It's intraday, of course, on this 30-minute time frame charts from today's action here on Monday, but any pullbacks into that could potentially also be a tight risk buy, right? If you roll over, come into it, this is your buy. And again, if it coincides with 13.34, we call that a super support. You go long at the support trend line, super support in here, your stop goes just underneath, and you're just looking for a move to revisit the highs and then monitor for continuation into essentially blue sky territories here. Again, very tight risk trade and a setup that's fantastic in terms of risk versus reward. Should we really start to roll over and get underneath that area of super support, which we've just outlined, the next major thing that I'm seeing from this 30-minute perspective is this area in here at $12.90 just about, simply because if we remember the rules of technical analysis, prior resistance should start to act as support. After that, I'd argue it's probably the lows of today, closer to, let's actually just not guess here and place a level at this value. I would argue it's in here close to 12.50. After that, it's kind of, likely down towards these wicks in here, 11.50, 11 the whole dollar, top of the gap area. And just thinking from a daily perspective, right, that would be proving anyone who got long in this candlestick, if we took out today's low, that would be proving them wrong. It's likely they liquidate underneath and maybe look for a better entry down below towards that $11 gap fill area, which we discussed towards the beginning of the video. So nothing quite bearish about it yet. I'm not saying go short. I'm not saying any of these people are wrong yet. As a matter of fact, we talked about bullish entries, right? So keep that on the top of your mind, forefront of your trading strategy as we continue on into the end of the week. So if you enjoyed today's video or learned anything new, let me know down below in the comments section or by simply leaving the video a thumbs up. Our main channel is linked down below in the description. And all of that being said, we wish you a green trading week.